Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
You are watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Carrie Roper. Welcome to 7 at 7 p.m. for Wednesday, January 20th. We're bringing you 7 minutes of nonstop local news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Let's go ahead and get to our top story tonight, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. A Laughlin hotel worker has been arrested after stealing property from hotel guests and demanding nude pictures for the return of their stolen belongings. 20-year-old Trevor Savick is charged with multiple counts, including extortion and burglary, according to court records. Police have asked anyone who may have been a victim to contact Metro's sexual assault section. Hundreds of people have been lining up at Cashman Center to get the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, but appointments and identification are not always required, causing a concern among eligible tier groups. Review-Journal's Mary HINES explains.
The site organizers, the county, the health district, they've indicated that yes, you need an appointment. Yes, you need to show ID to confirm your employment, your age. But in talking to people after they got vaccinated yesterday, about half of those I spoke with didn't have appointments. Most of them said they were not required to show any form of ID. Medical ethicists say this is a problem. It is a problem to not be reaching the 70-year-old plus group. And I've heard from countless residents who've been unable to get appointments, but then to be making the vaccine available to all these other groups, he said it's just like giving up.
And Clark County and Southern Nevada Health District officials provided an update on the vaccine distribution process earlier today. County Commissioner Marilyn Kirkpatrick expressed her frustration on some of the information circulating about the process.
Understand 2,000 people vaccines in an 8-hour period. That's yeoman's work, right? Is there going to be those one-offs? Yes. Do I wish Facebook would go away for a week because there's so much miscommunication out there, but we are working tirelessly.
Protesters in Carson City gathered today to make their concerns known about President Biden on Inauguration Day. This coming days after reports of a violent protest in the state capitol. Our reporter James SCHAEFFER has the story.
An inaugural protest has started right behind me here in Carson City, and organizers are insistent, telling me that this protest is peaceful.
We got to move forward.
Across from Mom and Pop's Diner on Carson Street, a crowd of peaceful protesters gather to make clear their interests on Inauguration Day.
He and his disgusting son.
One of the organizers for today's peaceful protest and others over the past 44 weeks told us what makes this gathering different than others.
We're not out here to fight Biden, to fight Trump. We're out here to support our Constitution.
Elliott also told us he was surprised about the police presence ahead of potentially violent protests in the Capitol on Sunday, saying he would have helped defend the Capitol against invaders.
They brought snipers in, thinking that somebody was going to invade our state. We would have defended it. We would have stood up on the stairs if we were there and kept them from doing that.
Now it's time for your weather forecast. Earlier today, we hit the low 60s with overcast skies and gusty winds. Later tonight, we have lows expected to stay around the mid-40s with a more gentle breeze and a slight chance of some rain. Tomorrow is expected to clear up, giving us some sunshine and a high around 66 degrees before getting into Friday, which is looking to be a bit windy with a chance of rain before we get into cooler temperatures for the weekend. We'll also experience more humidity before some potential rainfall early next week.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. CassieSoto here with this sports update. The NHL recently announced that it will stop using pucks embedded with tracking technology. The change comes after the league reviewed the first supply of tracking pucks and determined that they did not receive the same precise finishing treatments as those that were used during the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Ridiculous. They got to take those chips out. They just, because they say they can't freeze them, so they're just bouncing everywhere. And like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the best stick handler, but when you see some of the best players out there bobbling pucks and losing them and complaining about it, you know there's a problem.
Here's your sports betting update. The PGA Tour gets back in action with the American Express tournament starting Thursday in La Quinta, California. Patrick Cantlay is the favorite at the Westgate at 14-1, followed by Patrick Reed and Scottie Scheffler at 16-1. Golf handicapper Wes Reynolds' top picks include Scheffler, Cameron Champ at 35-1, Sam Burns at 50-1, and Keegan Bradley at 80-1. Read Todd Dewey's tournament preview with all of Reynolds' selections at reviewjournal.com.
In your business news, sponsored by the Vegas Chamber, Floyd Mayweather is stepping out of the ring and into the rink. The boxing champ is buying Crystal Palace on Boulder Highway, according to the real estate agent handling the skating rink. Mayweather is an avid roller skater, but has not decided whether he will operate the roller rink as is. In your health news, despite spending nearly $300 million in coronavirus relief funds, Clark County says the remaining federal dollars may not be enough. Renee Summerar has more. Renee?
County officials said Tuesday that by June 30th, they expect to have spent the entire $315 million in CARES Act money, leaving it about $183 million short to cover programs such as rental and utility assistance. Officials said that new federal money set aside for the pandemic should help to fill at least some of the shortfalls through the current fiscal year. The Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, signed into law last month, is expected to directly provide $31.7 million to the county for rental assistance. As of January 5th, the county has spent all but $40 million. Chief Financial Officer Jessica Colvin said it would have been completely spent had the deadline not been stretched a year. For more on the story, log on to lvrj.com.
In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A local golf resort is topping a national list. Review Journal's Kelsey Kendall has a story.
Paiute Golf Resort, just north of Las Vegas, is being recognized by Golf Pass as having some of the best golf courses in the country. Courses nationwide are judged based on reviews from the players. Paiute Golf Course has recently gotten more attention after the announcement that the Corn Ferry Tour will bring one of its tournaments to the Sun Mountain course on the resort later this spring.
In your entertainment news, the Santa Fe-based company Meow Wolf will open its Omega Mart experience on February 18th at Area 15. Shoppers will be able to visit a grocery store with more than 100 unique items, including Impact Corn and Caltucky Freedom Glaze. The exhibition features more than 250 unique projects from hundreds of artists. Tickets are on sale right now at omegamart.com. That's all for today's 7 at 7 p.m. from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm Carrie Roper. Thanks for joining us. And remember, you can also download our free RJ mobile app to get news alerts sent straight to your phone. Stay with us as we continue to follow the latest developments and live coverage. And we hope you'll join us again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Have a great night.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by attorney Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update is sponsored by Pro Group Management. You are watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.